Welcome to Mischief Wargaming. I'm John, and this is Blood Bowl. Apologies for the extended break, but we're back with the second round of the Mischief Cup. This round kicks off with the Khorne Borderland Bloodseekers facing the Darkmire Monster Mash Necromantic Horror team. After their somewhat bloody nose from the Greenshire Greats in round 1, the Bloodseekers are looking a little worse for wear. Jeff and Bloodcall are missing this game, meaning the team has to bring on 2 journeyman marauders to reach 11 players. Of course, a marauder isn't as valuable as a Bloodspawn, so the Bloodseekers still gain 30,000 gold in petty cash. There isn't much they can do with that, so they only managed to hire a temp agency cheerleader for this game. On the other hand, the Darkmire Monster Mash are in a better position. While Ghoul Skulls is missing this game, the team has the former Wildglade Wanderer Flystone as a zombie lineman. Additionally, Vinnie Bones also brings the Dauntless skill gained from the previous game. The pre-game setup begins with determining the fan attendance of the game. Both teams roll a d3 and add their dedicated fans, with Khorne scoring 3 while Necromantic score 4. Next are the weather conditions, which is perfect Blood Bowl weather. Darkmire win the coin flip and choose to kick first. With both teams set up, the ball is kicked and deviates. The kickoff result is cheering fans. Both teams roll a d6, and the Bloodseekers add 1 for their temp agency cheerleader. Even with the wacky waving arm inflatable goblin, Darkmire's fans are louder. This lets the team make a prayer to Nuffle, which is a hidden stiletto blade. Scary Henri gains the stab skill for this drive. After that, the ball scatters off the pitch, causing a touchback. The ball is then given to Skull Rage, and the game begins. The Borderland Bloodseekers begin by moving Herc, Ra, Hurrah, and Grumner into position before Snarlskin moves up too. The male journeyman then begins the violence by throwing a block at Vinnie Bones, causing the zombie to stumble, but not breaking his armour. Gorehound seizes the opportunity and blitzes Payne Rooney. With the assist and Gorehound's horns, the attack knocks the golem down. Its tough armour holds, however. The female journeyman then moves in. Skull Rage blocks Dead Lampard, causing a 3-die block on the zombie. The zombie hits the dirt, but is otherwise fine. Spling Rip blocks Bobby Charlton, knocking the golem back. I forgot about the Flesh Golem's stand firm skill, might have to get used to that, so he shouldn't have been pushed. The Bloodseeker's frenzy means he has to throw a second block, knocking him down but failing to break his armour. With that, it's Darkmire's turn as Lampard, Rooney, Charlton and Bones stand up. Ian White and Gareth Whale move in. David Barkham then blitzes Ra. Knocking him down. But even the werewolf's claws didn't break his armour. Lastly, Scary Omri and Joe Heartless move up. For turn 2, Ra stands up before Skull Rage blocks the nearby zombie lineman. Unfortunately, both results would result in both players taking a hit, so the Khorne team dips into their rerolls. The rerolled block knocks Lampard down, but his armour holds. The Khorngor Snarlskin blitzes the werewolf, but only manages to push him back. Grimner throws a block at Gareth Whale, and I make a mistake, I forgot about the Wraith's foul appearance. While the Wraith goes down, he is unhurt. After Graf moves up, Herc blocks John Terror, pushing him back. The follow-up frenzy attack isn't as favourable, but it gets the job done, and the zombie is knocked down, ending the Bloodseeker's turn. Darkmire begins with their knockdown players rising to their feet. Bobby Charlton then blocks Spleen Rip. Throwing the Khorne warrior to the floor, but is otherwise unharmed. The other flesh golem, Payne Rooney, pushes Grimner back. Ian White blitzes Skull Rage. Causing the Bloodseeker to stumble, but his tough armour holds. He does, however, drop the ball, which is then picked up by dead Lampard. Joe Heartless then dodges away from the opposing team. Turn 3 begins and Spleen Rip gets back up to his feet. Skull Rage then blitzes Lampard. Sending him crashing to the ground, dropping the ball. Grah moves up and Hurrah blocks Flystone. He only manages to push back the former Wanderer, but Frenzy means he must follow up. Which ends up badly. Hurrah ends up on the floor, stunned, causing a turnover. With a bit of a lucky break, Darkmire can make a push for the ball. Rooney blocks the female journeyman, pushing her back. Gareth Well blitzes Skull Rage, using his block skill to ensure the Bloodseeker is the only one who goes down. The ghoul, Heartless, moves in to pick up the ball. Flystone moves in close. And Bobby Joltoon ends the turn by blocking Gorehound, pushing the Khorne Gore back. The Bloodseekers begin turn 4 by standing up Skull Rage. Herc blocks John Terror. Knocking him down. The zombie ends up stunned from the strike. Spleen Rip moves in. The Male Journeyman then blocks Bobby Joltoon, pushing the Golem back. I again forget about Stand Firm. The Marauder then follows up with their Frenzy block, achieving the same result. Lastly, the Female Journeyman moves in. Darkmire begin their turn by having Pain Rooney block Skull Rage. The attack causes the Bloodseeker to stumble. His armour breaks and is knocked out. Gareth Whale blitzes Spleen Rip. Again relying on his block skill to knock the remaining Bloodseeker down. After Lampard moves, David Barkham throws a block at Snarlskin, causing him to stumble. The werewolf's claws break through the Khorne Gore's armour, stunning him. Ian White blocks Grimner. Using the block skill to stun the Marauder. With the way cleared up a little, Joe Heartless moves up the pitch. We're a quarter of the way through the game, and things aren't looking good for the Chosen of Khorne. After half their team recovers, Herc moves up. The Male Journeyman then blocks Vinnie Bones, pushing the zombie back. The follow-up Frenzy block has more luck, causing Bones to stumble. Gareth blocks Flystone, pushing him back. His Frenzy follow-up also has more luck, smashing the undead elf into the dirt. The Female Journeyman then blocks Bobby Joltoon. But this was a bad idea as the attack ends up with the Marauder on the ground, causing a turnover. Darkmire begins their turn by raising the zombies before Scurry Omri blocks Ra. Pushing the Marauder into the crowd. The crowd only managed to stun him, but he's placed into reserves for the rest of the drive. Heartless, Lampard and White move up. Barkham blitzes Herc, knocking him to the ground. Barkham didn't even need his claws to break through Herc's armour, causing a casualty. Herc suffers a serious injury, meaning he'll miss the next game and takes a niggling injury. Barkham then finishes his move after blitzing. Rooney then blocks Spleen Rip, only managing to push him back. Shaltoon has a similar result when he blocks Gorehound. Lastly, Gareth Whale pushes Spleen Rip back to end the turn. Turn 6, and after the down Marauders stand up, Snarlskin blitzes Bobby Charlton. The Golem is sent into the ground, but his armour holds. The Gorehound then tries to catch up to the Ghoul, having to rush twice. Grah then blocks Flystone, sending the zombie into the crowd. Flystone is stunned and placed into reserve. Spleen Rip blocks John Terror, knocking him down. The attack breaks the zombie's armour and stuns him. Darkmire's Bobby Charlton stands up, while Lampard and Omri move up. Barkham blocks Gorehound, knocking the Khorne back. The werewolf has Frenzy, so must follow up, a move which causes both players to go down. Both players end up stunned, and it causes a turnover for the Necromantic Horror team. It's turn 7, and it's looking like the Borderland Bloodseekers won't be able to prevent Darkmire from scoring. However, Snarlskin still blocks Scary Omri, but with an attacker down result rolled, a reroll is needed. This time the zombie stumbles, but his armour holds. The female journeyman uses a few assists to block Bobby Chalting, causing the golem to stumble. Gromner then blitzes Dead Lampard, needing to rush to perform the block. With a push, Frenzy means he must follow up, so he has to rush a second time. However, he trips, falling to the ground and ending the Khorne team's turn. After recovering their players, Joe Heartless, Dead Lampard and Ian White move up. Payne Rooney blitzes the female journeyman. But only manages to push her back. Vinnie Bones then tries blocking Spleen Whip. Vinnie has Dauntless, which after rolling for it increases his strength to match his opponent's. The attack knocks the Bloodseeker down, but his armour protects him. Lastly, Gareth Whale blocks the male journeyman, but only manages to push him back. It's the final turn of the half, and all the Bloodseekers can really do is score some hits and try and whittle down their opponents and score some star player points. Grah blitzes John Terror, causing him to stumble, but nothing more. Snarlskin blocks Bobby Charlton, knocking the golem down. But is otherwise unharmed. The journeyman then blocks Vinnie Bones, knocking him down but failing to break his armour. And lastly, Hurrah blocks Scary Omri to a similar result. And with that, Darkmire wastes no time and Joe Heartless crosses the line, scoring the first touchdown of the game. At half time, the score is the Borderland Bloodseekers have 0, while Darkmire Monster Mash lead by 1. Skull Rage doesn't recover from being knocked out in time to take part in this drive, with the Bloodseekers electing to save their apothecary for a more serious situation. This time the Bloodseekers kick the ball, with the kickoff result being brilliant coaching. Both teams roll a d6, and the highest earns an extra reroll for this drive, which goes to Darkmire. Additionally, it's worth remembering that Scary Omri loses the stab skill he gained earlier. With the ball coming to land, Darkmire's turn begins the second half. Both Wraiths and their nearby zombies move in. Heartless goes to pick up the ball, but that free roll is already needed. Thankfully for Darkmire, the second result works, and the ghoul collects the ball. Scary Henri blocks Gra, sending the Marauder stumbling. And stuns him. John Terror tries the same against Horror. But only knocks him down, his armour holding. Both flesh golems block the two journeymen, but only manage to push them both back. Vinny Bones then tries Dauntless again against Spleen Rip. The roll fails, but it ultimately makes no difference as the assists still mean that the block is in the zombie's favour. The Bloodseeker is then sent crashing to the dirt, his armour breaking. A casualty is rolled. Spleen Rip is about to suffer a serious injury, but the Bloodseekers use their Apothecary, rolling a second result and choosing which one. Unfortunately, the Apothecary isn't particularly good at his job, and the result is worse. So Spleen Rip is out of the game and chooses the serious injury. To end Darkmire's turn, the werewolf blitzes Ra, causing him to stumble. Barkham's claws let him stun the Marauder. With a pretty bad opening, the Bloodseekers need to form up a solid defence. The male journeyman blocks Vinny Bones, but only manages to push him back, which then causes the follow-up block to be in the zombie's favour, which means that while two dice are rolled, it's Darkmire that chooses the result. They choose the both down result. Neither player ends up hurt, but the result does cause a turnover for the Bloodseekers. Turn 10 begins with Vinny Bones rising to his feet. The Golems, Heartless and White move up. David Barkham then blitzes Gorehound. Breaking his armour and knocking the Khorne Gore out. Flystone moves up before Gareth Whale blocks Hurrah, using his block skill to knock the Marauder down. Time for another mistake. The armour roll here should have been successful, as the Marauders here are armour 8+, not 9+ like I thought. To be fair, the Bloodseekers seem to need all the help that they can get at the moment. Lampard blocks Grimner, stumbling the Marauder. With almost the entire team on the floor, there isn't much the Bloodseekers can do besides to get back up. The female journeyman blocks Vinny Bones, knocking the zombie down. Snarlskin tries to dodge away, but needs to use a reroll to do it. He then blitzes dead Lampard, stumbling the zombie and ending their turn. After that short turn, it's already Darkmire's time. Lampard and Bones rise, while Heartless, White, Rooney and Chaltoon move up. Flystone gets a little revenge as he pushes Ra into the crowd, stunning him, and removing yet another Bloodseekers player from the field. Barkham blitzes Gra, using a reroll to avoid a both down result, sending the Marauder into the ground. But his armour holds. Gareth Whale then blocks Hurrah, pushing him back. By now, the Borderland Bloodseekers fans are shedding tears as their team is in a very bad position. Grimner blocks Lampard, pushing him into the crowd, stunning him. Snarlskin then blitzes John Terror, but is unable to gain the momentum needed to use his horns, and is only able to push the zombie back. It does, however, let him to continue moving. However, there isn't much point as Darkmire immediately brings the drive to an end as Joe Heartless scores his second touchdown of the game. Neither Gorehound nor Skullrage recover in time for the next drive as the team's set up. The ball is kicked, and Darkmire's solid defence means D3 plus 3, in this case 5 players, can reposition before the ball lands. The Bloodseekers don't have many options, but Snarlskin picks up the ball anyway. The open Marauders all fall back to defend the Khorne. Grimner dodges away from the undead, as does the female journeyman. The male one, however, fails his dodge roll and falls flat on his face, causing a turnover. With no opponents in punching range, there isn't anything for Darkmire to do but to descend on the remaining Khorne players. The only exception is Bobby Charlton, who performs the turn's Blitz against Grimner. Despite a 3-die block, the Golem only manages to push him back. The Bloodseekers begin by standing up the male journeyman. The team then moves up before Hurrah blitzes Dead Lampard. Causing him to stumble, but nothing more. Turn 14 is already here, and Darkmire is now in a position to cause some serious damage. Payne Rooney blocks the male journeyman. Stumbling him, but nothing more. Henri, White Bones and Flystone all move in. John Terror blocks the female journeyman, knocking her down and stuns her. Gareth Whale then moves up. Charlton blocks Grimner, again only pushing him around. Joe Heartless blitzes Ra, pushing him back. And David Barkham follows up by blocking him, knocking him down. After the Bloodseekers recover, Snarlskin blitzes Scary Henri. Pushing him away and continuing his move towards the end zone. Hurrah and Gra then dodge away from the Darkmire players. Darkmire begin turn 15 by moving in as Vinnie Bones blitzes Snarlskin. Causing him to stumble and knocking him out. The ball then scatters, and Vinny tries to pick it up. The roll fails, even after a reroll. then bounces towards Hurrah, who also fails to collect the ball. Finally the ball comes to rest, but a turnover is caused as Vinny failed to pick up the ball. With no real hope to score, or even to cause much damage, the Bloodseekers try to save as much of their skin as they can, the available players all dodging away from the incoming Darkmire assault. The final turn of the game begins with Bobby Charlton blocking the female journeyman. Stumbling her and stunning the Marauder. Terra, Flystone and Henri move up as Payne Rooney blocks the male journeyman, pushing him back. Vinnie Bones and Joe Heartless move up as Gareth Whale blitzes Gra. Knocking him out. David Barkham then blocks Hurrah. Causes him to stumble and stuns him. Dead Lampard moves up, but there's no need. With no real options, the Bloodseekers choose to end their turn, and therefore the game. Darkmire Monster Mash win 2-0. With both teams collecting their winnings, Darkmire gains extra fans. After the MVPs are rolled, Grimner is able to choose a primary skill, and goes for block. While Jeff and Bloodcool are back on the team's roster for the next game, Herc and Spleen Rip will miss the next game. And here's the team's roster after this game. Darkmire has more to celebrate. With David Barkham able to choose a primary skill, he also chooses block. Joe Heartless is also able to choose a skill, and goes for sure hands. John Terra was the team's random MVP, and went for a random skill, which ended up being Strip Ball. With Ghoul Skulls back for the next game, Darkmire are in a relatively strong position for the next game. And here's their roster after that game. Lastly, here are the current league standings. Darkmire gains 3 points for a win, and an extra point for not conceding any touchdowns. And that is the first game of the second round completed. For a team built around inflicting as much violence as possible, it seems the Borderland Bloodseekers have angered Khorne. After taking a beating from Halflings, of all teams, now getting stomped on by the undead, things can surely only look up for them. On the other hand, the Darkmire Monster Mash are in a very solid position at the moment, with Barkham becoming a much more dangerous player with block, and Joe Heartless standing out as a skilled ball carrier. Again, apologies for the massive delay between the last video and this one, but I'm hoping to at least continue this series as much as I can, and we'll see what happens with the other game systems. So the next game of Blood Bowl sees the Wildglade Wanderers facing the Dunderhaven Dukes. Until next time, thank you very much for watching, and take care.